Codeforces contest which just happened today. Okay, Codeforces contest round 8 9 div 2 का contest है ये. And yeah, let's start with the first from increasing sequence. In this you need to tell the last number of the increasing sequence of length n. Okay, let's first read out the problem. You are given a array, okay, that contains number from a1 to an, and basically you need to somehow find about the sequence b. That's not a sequence a which is given. Sequence b is a sequence which should satisfy these conditions. The condition is that bi should not be equal to ai for any of the index. First, always positive integers, okay, every element is positive integer, okay, and the condition is it's increasing in order, strictly increasing. So 1 1 is not there, 1 2 3 4, like strictly increasing, okay. And what you will need to do is that to minimize the last value of b, okay. B is fixed length, right? B, the length of b is fixed, it's n. So the last element of b means like the, yeah, last index, n minus 1th index in b. So how do you find that? So the best way to say is that, okay, 1 2 3 4 5 to n, that would be my array b. But is it possible? It's possible. It's satisfying two of the conditions, like every element is positive, every element is increasing in nature, right? Third condition, that it should not be equal to ai. That makes some things like, okay, now it cannot be possible. Maybe when first element of a is also 1, you cannot have b starting from 1, and b always goes beyond, like b always increase. So b not start from 1, so b, let's say, would start from 2, obviously. Yeah, so it would increase. So the last element instead of n would be n plus 1. But in this also there is a case that, okay, you started off 2, that's fine, but then the next element you found is like your element is 3, right? 2 3 4, and a2 is also 3. What will you do in that case? Like if I talk about 1 0 indexing, so a1 is equal to 0. It's like in this case, so you got 1, so you cannot put b1 equal to 1. Okay, 1 indexing I'm talking about. So you put b1 equal to 2. That's fine. So corresponding to the 1, this is 2, and ai is not equal to bi. Now the next thing what you want after 2 is 3. Because that's what you can have. Like you can have 2 4 also, but why to go for 4? You want to minimize it, so have 3. But then you see 3, and 3 is also conflicting. So then you say, okay, 4, 2 and 4, now it's fine. Then you say, okay, now put 5. 5 is not conflicting with 2, fine. 6 is conflicting again, so you should put 7. And then last element is 8. So how do you find that? So that's what I said is exactly what I did. That I started off with 1, then I saw if there is conflict. While there is a conflict, you need to keep the pushing it, let's say the element which you are going to put. So you keep pushing it, and when it satisfies the condition, you push that element and you move forward. That's how you need to do for n minus 1 things. And why I'm saying n minus 1 things, you will only do this for 4 things, because whatever is you are thinking to place at this position, okay, there can be two possibilities, okay, because yeah, it conflict or if it does not conflict. If it does not conflict, that is my answer. So that's why I need to have that as an answer. So if I don't if I do for all the n elements, so I put something something something, but then you need to keep track of a previous element. I think in that way it's also possible. But what I did is that I did it for n minus 1 elements, and I just manually checked for the last element if it is conflicting or not. If it's conflicting, just increase it by plus 1, because that's what we do, right, to make it conflicting. And but there can be some scenarios where it's like still conflict, and there cannot be any. I think this while was, I think, a pretty dumb statement to make. I think if would work. Are you sure about that? Yeah, I'm sure about that. So you're saying instead of this while, if would work. Yeah. Okay, let's submit this. I don't know. System testing is maybe going on, but something like that. I'm okay. Contest is over. System testing is going on. I think cannot submit now, but okay. Because like while is needed in such scenarios where conflicting condition will continue to occur. But if there is one conflict, let's say 1 equal to 1, you move to 2 and conflict is over now. So you do, if this is equal to this, id plus plus, or you can say id plus equal to 2. So instead you was trying to put 1 at that place, now you have to put 2. Okay. And let's say now from 2 you want to move forward to 3. Obviously you increment one thing, because that's the minimum thing which you need to do. You cannot have 2 2. From 2 you have to increment to 3. That's why this is id plus plus. Even if it conflict or it does not conflict, you have to move one index, like one element up, like from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 and so on. So that's one thing. And that I did for n minus 1 elements. As I said, that 0 is less than n minus 1, I is less than n minus 1, I plus plus. And for the last element, I just checked if it's conflicting id plus plus. If it's not, then return that id, because that is going to take my the last position. I could have done it for complete n elements instead of just going for n minus 1. Fill all the array, and this either you keep track of the complete array or just keep track of the last element which you filled. I think that would make sense. Yeah. So those are pretty simple. I would not say as simple as the A question is always, but yeah, I would say it's a decent question as A is concerned. तो यही था, लाइक मेन फोकस वाज दैट कि ए के साथ जब भी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हो रहा है तो उसको इंक्रीमेंट करो. अब इसके आगे तुम्हें थोड़ा सा वो लगा ना इम्प्लीमेंटेशन, बट अंडरलाइन यही है, ए के साथ जब भी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हो रहा है इंक्रीमेंट करो, आगे बढ़ जाओ. एंड लास्ट एलिमेंट को ट्रैक किसी तरह से कर लो कि ये क्या हुआ है अभी. System testing is going on by, I think, yeah, so it's over. Okay, B problem I think was the good, was very good, I would say. And uh, yeah, थोड़ा सा सोचना था और फिर हो गया था. हाँ, तो बी प्रॉब्लम में तुम्हें you have been given t test cases and each test case is basically n is the number of you can say set. You know what's like, let's get back to the set theory of mathematics. When there is set, you have subset, and you have a union of set, intersection of set. Intersection is not there, but yeah, union is something which is applied, union operation between two set. So yeah, that mathematically you should be know about how the set things are there, but I don't think so it's like that important. But yeah, let's see. So you are given a few set, as I said, okay. And yeah, you could have stored that as a vector, but I think it's better to store it as a set. I stored it as a set, but yeah, I think that's better because we are doing some kind of operations on set. No, not as such like set specific, but yeah, removing duplicates because duplicacy was not needed. Okay, so yeah, you're given n sets, and what you need to find out is that, okay, after having this n set, you can have the union of the complete all n sets, okay, and that is equal to s1 union s2 union s and so on. Right, so that is the bigger set which will have some of the unique elements that the complete my thing has. My thing is not anything, you can call it a thing, like it's a bucket which has some set. So the total number of unique elements that are in bucket is equal to the union of all. But what I need to find out is that a subset of that bucket, not in that way. You have to choose some of the set. Like, just read out the problem. I think it's better to read out the problem. You have n set of integer s1 to sn. We call set s attainable if it is possible to choose some set s1 s2, some set out of these all sets. Okay, let's say I picked some k number of set, and then I did their union. And their union, if not, if you choose none of that, then the union is empty set. So then I did union, so I got some set which is a union. Okay, I call it su. It is a union of some number of set which I have chosen. It's not like all, but I have chosen that. Now find the maximum number of element that can be present in the attainable set, such that attainable set is not equal to like the biggest set. Biggest set means like the union of all. Okay, so I have to be a bit smart here that I don't select all the set. Okay, that's never the case that I'm selecting all the set, because then the union obviously would be equal to that attainable set. So now still you have to maximize the number of elements. How do you maximize it? So think about what you should not take. Okay, what you should not take. But what you should not take in terms of what, like element or a set. Initially you would think in terms of element, sorry, set. That, okay, let me, like, I'm given n things. Okay, let's call this set equal to things. Okay, I'm given n things. I need to choose some of the things. How do I choose it? Look, choosing is something which is very well handled by bit manipulation, bit masking kind of thing. 0 1 0 1 0 1, and whenever there is one, you say I'm picking this, not pick, pick, not pick. Okay, and then you got some bucket, and that is obviously not equal to, maybe it's equal to the complete union because of the repetition that it has, or it is not equal to the complete union. Maybe some elements are left out of this attainable set, and that's what we want. Okay, so but you cannot go for each bit mask, as you can see the constraints. Now what I really want is that, okay, there must exist one such element, okay, x, such that it is present in the union of the complete thing, which is S union, which is S1 union S2 union S3, so on till Sn. And attainable set is something like which I attained, that should not have that element. There exists some element X which is present in the complete union but not present in what I taken. So how do I get this? Now you got the idea. Like when I said that, it's become very clear that you got the idea that, okay, that I have to find according to element, that this element is present in the union. Obviously every element is present in the union, but I choose that this element, I would make some attainable set that will never have this element. How is this possible? I will not take those set which has this element. So every set that does not have this element is my point of like yeah, consideration. So I will take every element of that, and I will try to maximize the yeah, I'll take out every element of that, and that is my one of the possible answer for attainable set, and that is one of the possible answers. So I do max of that. I keep updating my maximum. I think that's what you need to do. uh, First you store these all the set in some way, that vector of set which I stored. Then you during that you can also create that the union set which contains all the elements, okay, just unique things, because that is the elements, each element which out of which only one I can choose and say that, okay, this makes a difference between set and attainable set and the union of all. So that thing I need to pick up, so that set helps me to get every element, as well as it is like for checking union as well, obviously. So then I what did, I got over every element in that like the every element that is, yeah, there in the complete union. I tried to make sure that my attainable set which I'm getting should not contain this element, and every possible set that is I can take without taking this element. Then I saw the size, man, the size of the total unique elements that are there in the attainable set which I'm creating, and then I did maximum of that. So this is the maximum of the size for. But first, which I said is that vector of set is there, and this is the total union set S, I called it. But yeah, that's about it. So I'm pushing everything into X, whatever it is, and I'm pushing some things in the Z, which is like current set, and then making it vi equal to Z, so that, okay, this index corresponds to this set. Okay, they are n set I got as a vector of set. And then what I did is that each element in the complete union, go over each set, that see that if this set contains that element I cannot take it, but if it does not contain, insert everything into your the current attainable set. This R is the attainable set which I'm creating. I think the one thing which is common between this is that, and the previous question is that, both are exactly like the way you implement is the way you speak about it. Like the way I speak about it is the same way I'm implementing it. Like I got my union of the set. I am trying to create my attainable set, and I'm just updating my maximum, so that, okay, which is the maximum attainable set possible. So that is mx, and that's how it is. Like I need to go for each element. So these are the things you have to say while thinking about the logic, and these are the exact things which you implement. So like implementation is really straightforward, I would say. Yeah, card game. I think now we can submit. System testing is 100%. Do you want to submit the first question first, like whether while or if wala thing? I think it is trivial to check because I think it will get submitted because current conflict एक ही index पे आएगा. Practice allowed fishing and unfrozen contest. क्या दिक्कत है भैया? नहीं होगा, नहीं हो रहा, चलो कोई नहीं. सी प्रॉब्लम डिस्कस करें इसी वीडियो में या नेक्स्ट वीडियो में करें? इसी वीडियो में करते हैं. नेक्स्ट वीडियो में डी प्रॉब्लम लेनी है, एंड जो कल कॉन्टेस्ट हुआ था उसकी भी डी प्रॉब्लम करनी है अभी. तो ठीक है. C problem, I think it was also yeah, let's see. You have been given T N A an array. What is this array? So you are given cards, and each card has value AI like written on the card, and ith card, and the value does not change, and you play a game. So there is a single player game. Okay, this is like kind of a rare thing. Like generally there is a two-player game. You are playing someone again, so you are playing with yourself, and not yourself, but yeah, you are playing a game. Initially, your score equal to zero, and each turn you do one of the operation. You choose one of the odd index. Okay, odd bundle index, which is not greater than the number of cards. Obviously, that should be so you choose an index and you remove the card. That is one thing which is common about the operations. Expect the third operation where you just end the game. So you are able to end the game any way you want, anywhere at any point you want. So you can end the game at any point. But the other two operation is to take a card and remove it from the set or what the deck. Okay. So what card you take? It's okay. So if you take the odd index card, you get the value written on it. Yeah, that gets added. Even if it's positive negative, that gets added. And if it is even index card, that gets just removed and nothing is getting added up. You are if that's positive, you're not getting something. If that's not negative, you're not losing something. So yeah, that just remove and don't do anything. And one is odd if it is present on odd index, and then you remove and add it to your thing. What you want is, I think, really short, really visible, that you want to maximize your score total. So how will you maximize your score? So the best thing which you can say is that, okay, I'm gonna pick every odd thing, because no, every odd positive thing. Like, why to pick negative, right? So because odd elements, when you take, you get them as a score, addition in the score. So positive numbers you directly pick up. And then there is an issue with the if there is a positive number and really big positive number present on even thing, you cannot take it directly. But look, there are kind of ways to look at it. When you take the odd element, it gets removed, and everything after that, the parity changes for that. Okay, so here's the thing. What you can see is that when you take this element, this is the odd element, positive element, you take it and you add it to your thing, and after that, everything, the parity gets changed. So the even elements now becomes the odd elements become the even elements. So one of the best thing which you can do is that, okay, uh, let's start from the backwards and pick every odd positive, so that if when you pick every odd positive, then everything after that, the parity changes, but there is no odd positive after that, like, which you can actually take. But there might be some even positive which just became odd positive now, because the parity changed. So you take that as well. Like, you don't take it on the first go, you take it in the like second go. Let me tell you what I'm saying. So this is even odd, even odd, even odd. Okay, why it is even odd? Because first thing is odd, right? They are doing one indexing. Yeah, and I say that, okay, I have taken this even thing, and like, I cannot do anything for even thing. I can do for odd thing. So but at this even, there is something present, like 12 is present. At odd, there is something present, like -1 is present. At even, something like -5 is 2 is present, and odd way there is 5 present. So odd positive, starting from back, first odd positive I got is this, so I took 5. Everything just changed their index, so now -2 is odd, and this is becomes odd, like 12 becomes odd. So now I can take 12 as well. Okay, so what I'm saying is that, okay, when there is a odd positive you got, okay, everything after that you can take, because, okay, if it was already odd positive, you would have taken that. Like, why you have not taken 12? Because it's even. And now if it is even, now it became odd positive. So one thing is that, yeah, from every index you can take everything, like, okay, if that index is odd, let me be sure about that. Then what you can do, yeah, you can take everything after that, uh, in terms of like every positive thing. So what we do, we go from suffix and we add the value of positive things, because that's what we can take. And the only thing is that, okay, you start from odd positive and you can take everything. And but what if the odd is not present at the sorry, positive is not present on the odd position? You want to take it like this, like everything else, just forget about that, and it starts from the odd thing. So we have to have some o before e, and let's say it is -2 or whatsoever, even if it is, yeah. Now what about that? Yeah, what about this? What is this indexing issue? Yeah, now the first, you do not have any. positive odd. If I talk about that, I think, what do you have? Okay, let me bring in some other element so that you do not have any positive odd. It is -6, and now you have, yeah. So what will you do? So again, one thing is for sure that look, you can always manipulate your part, your thing, like this thing, what I said, suffix thing, because it changes parity when I pick one element, and everything after that changes this parity. So if I pick any element, no matter if it is positive, negative, zero, right? Okay, at so if I remove this -2, everything after that changes its parity, and now 12 is present on the odd location. So that's what I'm trying to say. If you are able to find the odd positive, okay, it's very good, because after that you can take everything, right? But now the or even first even positive is there, or you can say like first even positive is there. So what you have to do now is to keep track of suffix, obviously, ki that okay, this is my suffix is still 12, and I'm not taking negative elements in the suffix, because yeah, I will not never be taking the negative elements. Just in one scenario is that when I need negative element to change the parity, and that I will need only once to change the parity, because if you are having the ability to change the parity, why are you changing parity here to make it 12 odd? Why not let's change parity here and make this 5 odd, right? But that is also the scenario, sometimes you would go for only this. This is also scenario that if this is -1 only, so it's better to just have -1 and then just get 5, so plus 12 quickly. And what if it was -22? So you would not like to have like negative of 22 just to change your parity. It's and like the positive thing which you are getting by using this -22, you are getting both 5 and 12. Okay, so you are getting some 17 positive, but negative is so high. But if you only do with this -1, you get 12. So you have to basically go for each index and say, okay, what if I start from this point? What if I start from this point? What if I start from this point? If this point is already having, look, positive value, okay, that does not make much difference. But this index which you are saying that I'm trying to start from this index, whether it is a even index or odd index, okay, if it is the odd index, are you getting it? Then look, if it is a even index, then you can remove it. -1 को रिमूव करने में मेरा कुछ नहीं जा रहा है यहाँ से, बिकॉज इसको मैं रिमूव करूंगा और मैं अपने अंदर नहीं लूंगा, राइट? लाइक अपने स्कोर में ऐड नहीं करूंगा, सो ओनली 12 मैं डायरेक्टली प्लस कर सकता हूँ. देयर इज नो नीड टू हैव -1 12 -1 11. सो मैं गया इस पे और मैंने बोला कि इसके सफिक्स में क्या प्रेजेंट है, 12 प्रेजेंट है, और ये इंडेक्स कौन सा है, ये इवन इंडेक्स है. तो मैं क्या करूंगा कि अगर आपके पास इवन इंडेक्स है ना, तो आप कुछ नहीं लोगे, आप बस सफिक्स लोगे. इसके आगे सफिक्स में क्या है, ठीक है? और अगर आपके पास ऑड इंडेक्स है ना, तो आप उसको भी कंसिडर करोगे और उसके सफिक्स में जो है उसको भी, तो -1 भी कंसिडर होगा और फिर जाके 12 कंसिडर होगा, तो तुम्हें मिलेगा 11. तो ऑब्वियसली दैट इज नॉट बेटर, बट दिस कुड हैव बीन बेटर अगर कुछ और होता, लिखा यहाँ पे 2 लिखा होता. तो भाई ये तो बेटर है ना कि मैंने 2 लिया और 12 लिया, ठीक है? सो दैट इज द ओनली थिंग विच यू नीड टू डू. सफिक्स में रखेंगे हम ओनली पॉजिटिव नंबर्स, बिकॉज लेना हमें पॉजिटिव ही है. और किस तरह से लेना है हमें, हमें ये जाके बोलना है कि ओके, इस इंडेक्स पे मैं स्टार्ट करूंगा और इसके बाद मैं सारा ही ले लूंगा, ठीक है? अगर ये इंडेक्स इवन है, ठीक है, तो मैं इसके बाद जो भी है वो सारा ले सकता हूँ. क्यों? क्योंकि मैं इसको हटाऊंगा और ऑड बना दूंगा इस इंडेक्स को, एंड ऑलरेडी जो ऑड था वो तो आ ही रहा है मेरे पास, ठीक है? जो ऑड पे रखा हुआ है वो तो आ ही रहा है. जो इवन पे रखा हुआ है वो भी आ जाएगा जब मैं इस इंडेक्स के साथ छेड़खानी करूंगा, और इस इंडेक्स के साथ छेड़खानी करने से मेरे को कोई इशू नहीं है. अगर ये इवन है तो मेरे को जीरो मिलेगा, ठीक है? मतलब ये नहीं, अगर ये पॉजिटिव है तो वो लूज हो रहा है मेरा, बट नेगेटिव में कट नहीं रहा, तो फिर जीरो मिलेगा, क्योंकि इवन पे तो चेंज करने में टेंशन नहीं है. एंड ऑड इंडेक्स पे अगर मैं चेंज करना चाह रहा हूँ, तो देखो इसके आगे जो भी ऑड है वो तो मैं उठा ही चुका हूँ, बट जो इसके आगे जो इवन वाले हैं उसको भी मैं लूंगा. मतलब पॉजिटिव है तो मतलब सारे पॉजिटिव ही आएंगे, और इसको चेंज पैरिटी चेंज करने से वो इवन वाले भी मेरे को एक्सेसिबल हो जाएंगे, तो इस वजह से मैं सारे पॉजिटिव उठा पा रहा हूँ. तो दैट्स व्हाई आई एम डूइंग सफिक्स. इसके आगे का जितना भी सफिक्स पॉजिटिव है वो सब मैं ले सकता हूँ. दैट इज आई एम द पॉइंट विच आई एम क्लेमिंग, कि क्योंकि ऑड अपने आप आएगा और इवन मेरे इस ऑपरेशन करने से आएगा. तो जिस ऑपरेशन में मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, इस ऑपरेशन में मैं इस एलिमेंट को हटा रहा हूँ, इस एलिमेंट को हटा रहा हूँ और या तो मैं इसको लूंगा, अगर ये ऑड इंडेक्स है तो लेना पड़ेगा, पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव वो मैं लूंगा, ठीक है। इसको हो सकता है लेने से मेरे को फायदा हो सकता है ना हो। यहाँ पे -1 होता तो होने से लेने से फायदा होता, क्योंकि मेरे को +1 मिल ही रहा है भाई, मतलब मेरे को +5 मिल रहा है, ठीक है। बट एक और चीज है कि अगर तुम यहाँ से 5 हटाते हो सीधा जाके, ठीक है, तो 5 तुम्हें मिलेगा नहीं किसी तरह से, 5 तुम्हें मिल नहीं सकता जब तक तुम -1 को ना हटाओ। क्योंकि मान लो तुम 5 कैसे मिलेगा जब 5 ऑड इंडेक्स पे होगा और तब हटेगा। तो 5 तो अभी इवन इंडेक्स पे है, अभी हटा दिया तो 5 तो चला गया, अब तो लेने का चांस ही नहीं है। इसको चला हटा दिया तो अब 5 पे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, 5 पे फर्क तभी पड़ेगा, 5 ऑड इंडेक्स पे तभी आएगा जब यहाँ से ये हटेगा, तो ये हटाना जरूरी है इस केस में हमें। हम ऐसा नहीं कह सकते कि यार -2 हटाओ, इवन इंडेक्स का कोई भी इवन इंडेक्स का माइनस हटाओ और उसके आगे के सारे पॉजिटिव तो मेरे हो जाएंगे। बट उस इवन इंडेक्स से पहले अगर कुछ पॉजिटिव हैं तो क्या करोगे? और या मतलब उसका मतलब यही है कि अगर तुम्हारा पहला पॉजिटिव ही इवन इंडेक्स पे है, ओके, और दूसरा पॉजिटिव भी इवन इंडेक्स पे है, बट इसके बीच में भी तो ये चीज है ना कि इसके बीच में जो दूसरा पॉजिटिव भी इवन इंडेक्स पे है, लेट्स से, और इसके बीच में बस एक -2 है, तो तुम इसको तो हटाओगे नहीं, मतलब इसको हटाओगे तो तुम्हें -2 लेना पड़ेगा और इसके आगे के जितने पॉजिटिव है वो तुम्हें मिल जाएंगे। और इस 3 को मैं ले मतलब यहाँ पे मैं ऑपरेशन करूंगा तो 3 नहीं मिलेगा मेरे को, तो मैं यहाँ पे अगर 2 पे ऑपरेशन करूंगा 2 तो नहीं मिलेगा, 12 मिल जाएगा मेरे को, ओके 2 क्यों नहीं मिलेगा, 2 मिलेगा यहाँ पे ऑड पे ऑपरेशन करने से, ठीक है। तो इस केस में सबसे बेस्ट सिनेरियो, लाइक सब केसेस में सिनेरियो अलग हो सकता है, बट ये चीज श्योर है कि जिस इंडेक्स पे तुम ऑपरेशन करने जा रहे हो उसके बाद का सफिक्स तुम्हें पूरा पॉजिटिव पॉजिटिव सफिक्स मिलेगा, ठीक है, नेगेटिव एलिमेंट्स को कंसिडर नहीं कर रहे। ऑड एलिमेंट्स जो पॉजिटिव के हैं वो अपने आप आएंगे, इवन एलिमेंट्स मेरे ऑपरेशन करने से आएंगे, मेरे ऑपरेशन से या तो मेरे को 0 मिलेगा या तो वहां पे वैल्यू जो रखी हुई है वो मिलेगी। अभी कभी 0 लेना गुड होगा, जैसे हमने एक केस में दिखाया था कि 2 हटाता तो वो लाइक 2 हटाता, इवन इंडेक्स से -2 हटाता, सॉरी, इवन इंडेक्स से अगर -3 है यहाँ पे रखा हुआ है तो हटा दो ना भाई, इससे क्या जा रहा है तुम्हारा, इससे तुम्हारा 12 ऑड इंडेक्स पे आ जाएगा। बट अभी तो ऑलरेडी वैसे गुड है, इसमें कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि तुम यहाँ पे देखोगे ये ऑड है, ठीक है, और ऑड में हमें क्या मिलता है, हमें वैल्यू मिलती है 2 मिलेगा और इसके बाद जो भी लिखा हुआ है वो भी मिलेगा, तो ऑड में वैल्यू मिलती है प्लस ये भी होता है। तो इस केस में तो बेटर नहीं है कुछ करना, बट हाँ इस केस में बेटर है, क्यों? क्योंकि देखो ऑड में वैल्यू मिलेगी, वैल्यू नहीं चाहिए भाई मेरे को, इवन में वैल्यू नहीं मिलेगी और इसके बाद का जो भी है वो मिल जाएगा, तो 12 मिल जाएगा, है ना, तो -3 के साथ मैं कर सकता हूँ। बट ये तभी जब यहाँ पे -11 रखा होगा, क्योंकि अभी तो 5 भी लेना पॉजिटिव है, ठीक है। ओके, आई थिंक आई हैव नॉट मिस्ड इट अप, तो मैं एक बार फटाफट से इसको कोड कर देता हूँ लाइन बाय लाइन, सो दैट यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड इट thoroughly. Int an, and for I0 n cn a of I, and what you need to do, suffix is the most important thing, sf का नाम का बनाते हैं, sf of n-1 is equal to max। सफिक्स में भी कुछ भी इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, सफिक्स में केवल पॉजिटिव इंपॉर्टेंट है, ठीक है, सफिक्स में सब कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, ओनली पॉजिटिव एलिमेंट के लिए मैं जाऊंगा, तो इसलिए मैक्स लूंगा, 0 और n-1 का, हो सकता है वो नेगेटिव हो तो। एंड फॉर आई, फॉर नहीं होगा, रिवर्स फॉर होगा, तो रिवर्स फॉर लिख लो, एंड i n-1 से लेके 0 तक f suffix of I is equal to suffix of I plus 1 plus a of I, and yeah, then you say कि for I0 से लेके n तक, and your mx is equal to max of mx comma now। अभी तुम्हें क्या मिलेगा, तुम्हें suffix of I plus 1 मिलेगा पहली बात, बट अगर i+1 देखो तुम इसके लिए भी चलाओगे तो या तो वहां पे n+1 कर लो, या फिर यहाँ पे ऐसा लिखना पड़ेगा कि i+1 इज इक्वल टू n है, तो भाई 0 ले लो, ठीक है, मतलब इसके बाद सफिक्स में कुछ नहीं है। एंड यहाँ पे तुम्हें वैल्यू मिलेगी ai या फिर 0 बेस्ड ऑन कि तुम्हारा इंडेक्स क्या है, ठीक है। सो यहाँ पे तुम्हारा लगेगा i mod 2 इज इक्वल टू अगर 0 है तो तुम्हें ai मिलेगा। देखो अब इवन ऑड, क्योंकि हम कैसे डील कर रहे हैं, 0 इंडेक्सिंग में डील कर रहे हैं, तो पहला इंडेक्स हमारा 0 है जो कि इसके केस में ऑड है, तो जब 0 है, हाँ, तो तुम्हें वैल्यू मिलेगी, और ठीक है, ठीक है, सब कुछ 0 है मतलब ऑड है तो मतलब वैल्यू मिलेगी, 0 है मतलब मेरे केस में ऑड है ना, मतलब 0 1 इंडेक्सिंग, ठीक है। एंड आई थिंक दैट्स फाइन एवरीथिंग, एंड या यू कैन रिटर्न मैक्स, सी आउट मैक्स। ये टेस्ट केस भी इसी के लिखे पड़े हैं जहाँ तक मुझे याद है, तो हाँ चला के देख लेते हैं, रिवर्स फॉर बनाना पड़ेगा, हैशटैग डिफाइन। मैन, और लॉन्ग लॉन्ग लेना पड़ेगा क्योंकि कुछ समेशन वगैरह हो रहा है ना यहाँ पे। mx was not defined in the mx equal to 0 एंड 0 की जगह 0 ll लिखो भाई, एंड 0 ll लिखो भाई। अच्छा यहाँ पे क्यों नहीं लिखा तुमने ये कि मैक्स लेना है हमें 0 कॉमा इसका, और n-2 से स्टार्ट होगा। भाई क्या कर रहे हो, n-1 से कैसे कर सकते हैं हम? ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है, लेट अस सी। साइंड। सफिक्स बना लिया, हर एलिमेंट पे जाके हमने बोल दिया, ठीक है यार। आई थिंक आंसर तो वही आया जैसा एक्सपेक्टेड है। हर एलिमेंट पे जाके हम चेक करेंगे कि भाई अगर ऑड है तो मेरे को वैल्यू मिलेगी यहाँ की, और सफिक्स पूरा मिलेगा सफिक्स पॉजिटिव में जो जो है, और अगर इवन है तो यहाँ की वैल्यू नहीं मिलेगी, सफिक्स पूरा मिलेगा। बिकॉज ये वो पॉइंट है जिसको मैं रिमूव करूंगा पहली बार, और इसको रिमूव करने से ही मेरी आगे की सारी पैरिटी चेंज हो जाएंगी। बट उससे पहले जो आगे पॉजिटिव ऑलरेडी ऑड पे रखा हुआ था वो मैंने उड़ा चुका था। तो पैरिटी चेंज होने से मेरे को बस ये फायदा हो रहा है कि जो इवन पॉजिटिव था वो अब ऑड पॉजिटिव है, और मैं ऑड पॉजिटिव की तरफ से उड़ा सकता हूँ। ठीक है, दैट आई वॉन्ट, दैट आई रियली वॉन्ट, एंड दैट इज द मेन थिंग जिसके लिए हम लाइक कर रहे हैं। जो भी हो रहा है वो सफिक्स से ही हो रहा है। बट अभी ये पॉइंट ये है कि भाई ये पॉइंट पे, जिस पॉइंट पे मैं ऑपरेशन करूंगा यहाँ से भी मिलने के चांसेस हैं, या तो जीरो या तो ए आई और एक्सपेक्टेड। चलो ठीक है, डी प्रॉब्लम करते हैं यार थोड़ी देर में। ठीक है, चलो ओके बाय।